to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. And Panorama is brought to you Mondays through Fridays at 5 minutes past 9. My name is Esther Alaribi. How are you doing today? I really hope that the day and this week is starting off just fine for you. I hope it's going as planned, but if not, trust me, it's just 5 minutes past 9 and you still have time to just pick up on what is not going well and you can just make adjustment. I really hope that you find your fit. So you on the other side, you can be a part of the conversation by calling in on 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537 to be a part of the conversation this morning. So in recent times, there's been a lot of conversations talking about consumer rights and freedom of speech and what have you. And this morning, I'm going to be having a senior colleague, a broadcast journalist, joining us as we discuss the case of this lady. I'm sure you probably must have heard the story before of this lady, Chioma Okoli, who bought a particular product and gave a review, posting it on social media. But just that act of trying to patronize a particular brand has led into a spiral of events, and sometimes I just wonder how exactly did we get here. And I'm just going to read the post that the lady made. She made a post saying, I went to buy tin tomatoes yesterday to make stew. I didn't see, then she goes ahead to mention some other brands that she would normally use. Then she bought this one, the particular one that she got that has actually opened up the can of so many other events. Then she said, when I opened it, I decided to taste it. Sugar was just too much. Biko, please, let me know if you've used this particular tomato before, because it is tiring. And she goes ahead to say it in Igbo, Ike Guru. Now, that post that I just read out was what she put out there. And it has actually sparked up a lot of controversy, and the brand has actually responded over time. First, in September 17, 2023, the whole conversation around this tomato paste was just an honest review from a consumer, but it has led to so many other things. She was arrested in September 2023, then also rearrested again January 9, 2024. Just so you know the way sometimes when network is down, and I've heard people say so many things, even on social media, people just want to express themselves. And some brands have taken this opportunity to actually utilize some kind of PR around it or trying to connect with the customer. But this was not the case here in this issue. Joining me, I have Ireti Bakare Yusuf, a broadcast journalist who is going to be joining us in this conversation and telling us more about it. Good morning, Ireti. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. I can't see you, so I don't know if I'm on.
Oh, you're on. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, all right. Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
Yeah. So we're talking about the case of Chioma Okoli against Erisco Foods Limited. I just read out the particular post that she put out complaining about sugar in the product that she got. And we know how this issue has gained so much attention, how she was arrested in September and again in January. Then a new documentary that I saw that was produced by Arise TV having to highlight her stance and that of the owner of the brand as well. Ireti, what would you say is the cause of all of this? Because I understand as a consumer that you have certain rights that allows for you to air your voice on what the situation of the product you've gotten is like.
Well, the cause of all of this, as you ask, is basically power. Okay? Yes, every one of us, we have a right to... Look, here's the thing. The first thing we need to understand, accept, and appreciate in Nigeria, because with much respect, many do not know their rights, neither do many know the law, and we have a large uneducated population. When a product is made, it is put out to be bought, right? That is invitation. That means they are inviting you and I to come and buy, okay? The moment I buy it or you buy it and I pay for it, it becomes a contract. That contract is based on the fact that that product is expected to do what it says it's going to do. It's based on the quality, It's based on several things, but it is a contract because I have bought something that you put out there, right? Because effectively the money is coming to you, even if I buy it from the supermarket. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I need us to get clear. Okay. The second thing then is reviews are subjective. Okay. What does that mean? That means they are opinions. What does that mean? Like some opinions are everywhere. Okay? Mm-hmm. Opinions are everywhere. Everybody has one. Right? Yeah. Opinions are like pure water. They're all over the place. Okay? So often, so what you get is, so you buy the product, you've paid for it, whatever. You take it home or you do whatever you want to do with it. If you feel, in your opinion, this product is this or this product is that, then I'm hearing so much feedback. Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you clearly from this end.
I know you can, but I'm hearing feedback from your end. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll try to continue. So when you buy that product, you have the right to review the product you bought. Okay? And that right is open to any one of us. As long as you are not abusive, okay? Section 39 gives us the right to an opinion. It gives us the right to freedom of speech. What it doesn't give us the right to is to abuse or to defame somebody else. Am I clear to that point?
Yes.
Right. So, what Chioma did is what people do the whole world over. The whole world, and I mean the whole world. It is not unique to Nigeria. It is not unique to Chioma. It is not unique to women. It is not unique to Lagos. It is global. What Chioma did was try the tomato paste that she bought, and she posted a review because she had not used it before. So what she did was post a review saying it's sugary. That's it. I don't know what the Igbo line means because I don't speak Igbo, but what I do know is the English line, and she's perfectly entitled to that opinion. I think she goes on to say other people should try it and let her know what they think. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Exactly. So therefore, if somebody says that, it's not about defaming anybody. She's saying, here's how I found this. How did you find it? And that is what happened. Let me tell you something. Amazon. Everybody buys from Amazon. You buy from Amazon. 8 out of 10 times you go to the review if you're buying a product that you don't know. The same with 99% of online sales. But it's a product thing, and this is where it's really, really disgraceful. This is where Umeofia clearly has no concept. He has no comprehension of product management, product marketing. He has no concept of product review, and he certainly has no concept of what it is, or comprehension rather, what it is to be a producer via the retailer. Because every retailer will tell you, when customers bring back complaints, we examine their complaints. Okay? When customers do a review, if you're an online retailer, you examine the review. If you're a product manufacturer, you take that review and you go back to the office, you talk with your team and say, right, we need to check this because maybe 100 people have said this, or it might even be one person that said it. You see, it very much depends on the respect you give to the money that is being spent on your product. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So I started my career many, many years ago in retail. in retail management. Right? I was 21 abroad. This was abroad. And every other, we sold clothes and shoes. And it was one of the biggest brands in the UK at the time.
Okay.
But whenever we got a complaint, if you came back and you said, right, I bought this shoe, I wore it, and the heel broke, the one thing we would do is have a look at it. If I was the manager, if I had a look at it and I thought, no, this is not a factory fault, or this is not from how it was made. This may have just been, perhaps you tripped over a pavement or something. I would say that to you. If you then said, no, it is not, actually, I took the shoes home, I hadn't left my house, I put it on, I only have tiles, and it broke. I would then say, and legally, and this was part of our practice, I would then say, okay, kindly leave it with me. I would give you a receipt and I would send it to our head office.
Okay.
Okay? Now, imagine what you will not know and what I would not know at that time is that it's possible that 3 other people, 5 other people could come in with the same shoe saying the heels have broken. Do you understand?
Yes.
So now we begin to see a pattern. By the time I send it to head office, they're looking at it like, okay, there's something wrong with this. You have heard of products recalls. Have you not?
Yeah.
You've heard of cars. Cars have been called back because something happened to one person in an accident. That was not expected to happen. So my point is, product reviews, whether they're negative or positive, are critically important. But a negative product review is even more important than a positive one. And most of your listeners will probably be discombobulated at this point. And here's why a negative product review is more important than a positive one. You see, the person that cares about quality, the person that cares about doing well, the person that isn't about vacuous, empty applause, will always look for that one person that isn't clapping. And that's what my mother would always say to me.
Okay.
As somebody that's in media, when all the applause is loud, look for that one person that isn't applauding. Because that is where your growth resides.
Okay.
That person will be able to help you grow because their feedback are so critical that you will be able to go back and take a critical, objective look at yourself. None of this is apparent to Eric Umeofia. In fact, what Eric Umeofia went on to do, was not only to bully, Chioma because of her opinion on a product that she had bought for which he has her money. What he went on to do was to weaponize his Rolodex. What he went on to do was to report her, he put out a petition. Now, let's talk about the legal part.
Okay.
Eric said Chioma is cyberbullying him. Well, if you read Chioma's post, he said she's cyberbullying his brand, his company. If you read Chioma's post, there is no cyberbullying in there. Like I said, I don't know what the evil part means. Perhaps you do, and you can tell us.
Okay, so I will just tell you. Okay. So I was just going to tell you what she said. The part where she spoke about Ikeguri, it means it's tiring, like something is a tiring situation. That was what she said. Then the other part where she used Biko, Biko means please. So there's nothing really, there are no element in this as claimed. But let's hear you.
Exactly. Right, thank you so much. She said it's tiring. And doesn't she have a right to say she's tired? Don't we all say that? How is that cyberbullying Eric Umeofia or his product. That's number one. So what he does is he reaches out to the police. According to that wonderful documentary, that very good reportage by Adesua Giwa Osage, he reached out to the police via the IGP. Chioma is arrested the first time.
Yeah.
She's even made to sign, I think, was it an apology or a confession letter of some sort?
Yeah, I cited something like that.
Yes. Having been held in detention. For what? Now, then she is released. She's flown over to Abuja. She is flown to Abuja. Let me just say that again. This girl has not broken the State Secrets Act. She is not wanted by the DSS. She has not said anything against the president of the country. She has not called for a revolution of some sort. She has not said anything politically explosive or socially explosive. She merely said she bought a product from Najiko. Is it Najiko?
Yeah,
I've never even heard of the brand. Najiko Foods. She bought tomato paste from Najiko Foods. She had never used it before. She took it home. She tasted it, and it's too sugary. What do you all think? I'm tired, or it's tiring. End of. How does that warrant this mother of three, this young mother of three, who does not have a criminal record, being bundled onto a plane to Abuja? How? So then the FCCPC gets involved. The FCCPC is the agency that we're supposed to report consumer issues to, right?
Yeah.
And that's their job. If you go on to Babatunde Irukara's handle, after he resigned from the FCCPC, because of the shocking, the huge shock and surprise of his resignation, you will see many testimonies about people who had said, if not for FCCPC, if not for Tunde Irukera, they would not have gone. Somebody even went as far as to say, I think they kept getting charged 50 naira by one of the telcos, if memory serves me. The FCCPC under Tunde Irukera was so incredibly effective. Remember the case of Peju Ubuma, who died from a fibroid operation, medical malpractice. Right. The FCCPC was in the middle of that case. So just to let you know how vast their remit is, how vast their work is, how they're supposed to cover practically everywhere. So now I've given you an example of how they came in for somebody's issue with the telco provider. I've given you an example of how they were integral in the case of Peju Uboma working with her husband, Chioma Okoli, in order for them to get justice. And thank God they got justice. They really did. The FCCPC, of course, then gets involved with Chioma Okoli's case because that is their job. If you have a problem with the quality of something, don't go to the wrong place. Go to the FCCPC.
Okay.
That is their job. They work with some, that's the Standards Organization of Nigeria. They probably work with NAFDAC as well because they're all pretty much a collective of ensuring that Nigerians are not cheated, that Nigerians do not die from fake products, to make sure that Nigerian rights as consumers are solid. Okay? So the FCCPC gets involved, and this man is on air, he's on record, he's on screen, he's on that documentary saying how he petitioned everybody, including the Ministry of Justice, because according to him, Tunde FCCPC and Tunde Irukera could ruin his business. How?
All right.
How?
Okay, thank you very much, Iriti, for bringing us up to speed at this point, really, because there's so much to talk about in this particular case. 26 minutes past 9, and we're still on Panorama this morning discussing the case of Chioma Okoli and Erisco Foods Limited. The phone lines are open, 07000 917 917. I also have Ibinabo Dixon on the call this morning. Ibinabo, I would like to hear your thoughts. I know you've seen that documentary, and there was some part in the documentary where Chief Eric Umeofia was having to note that why does it have to be his brand? And he went about in some sort of, will I say, self-aggrandizement with the way he spoke about a fellow human being. You can tell that he was speaking from a place of, how dare you? Like, this is to Chioma, like, how dare you? And if this is the same thing that happens to every Nigerian when you buy a product with your own money and you give review, then I don't know where people like us will be, because the social media has just allowed for people to be able to air their opinion, of course, without insulting anybody, but just knowing how to go about it properly. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, do have to call us back on 07000 917 917. Yes, Ibinabo, let's hear you on your thought about the body language of Eric in that documentary.
Are you asking me or somebody else?
Ibinabo Dixon, she's on the phone. Yes, yes, Ibinabo.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Esther. Good morning to all our valued listeners.
Yes, good morning.
There is something that we have. It is bad. It is embarrassing. It is shameful. But this is what is obtainable in some parts of Nigeria and with some people. They do not take kindly to feedbacks. More so if it is not, by their own estimation, not complimentary. People forget that when if you are a manufacturer, you produce, products for people to consume. You are open to various comments. And I listen keenly to our guests, and one thing that is missing is the fact that people do not know what to do with what they term negative feedback. When a feedback is not flattering, when the feedback is not saying all the beautiful things about your product, you view them as wanting to ground your company, which is very wrong. Now, a lot has been said about FCCP. And this is a company that is standing in for the consumers, for protecting consumers from fake and substandard goods. And Esther, let me tell you, if we are all going to be honest, there are some tomato products that should be indeed. I'm not mentioning any brand here. And it is not just tomato paste products. There are other products in the market. Take for instance, when you mention yogurt, you imagine a little bit of sour taste in that product. But when you buy some yogurt, Esther, it is like you are licking raw sugar. So at this point, what is the place of NAFDAC? What is the place of SON? And agents. I hope and pray that the case of Chioma will become an eye-opener for these agencies to be up and doing. There are too many products in the market that if you look at the content and the various percentage of whatever a particular item or whatever it is that is content that is added to form this product, they will tell you they have 10% of these, and if you have a means of checking, they probably have less or more, and nobody's doing anything.
Hello, Ibinabo, are you there? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've watched the video over and over and over, and I've listened to Mr. I can't.
Eric
Umeofia. What's his name again? Eric Umeofia. You know, sometimes we need to listen to people and the sound or the tone with which they respond. That man, I'm afraid that if you really care about the product you take to the people to buy. This is a product that we take in, we ingest it. So if there is a problem with it, you shouldn't be quick to defend yourself. You should look into it. You know the problem at this point? When Chioma came out with that video of hers, what I had expected from the agencies that would have certified that particular brand, fit for consumption, should have gone into the market, pick this product randomly, and take it to their laboratory and test. No, but I don't think anybody has not come out with such facts. That, okay, when we saw this video of this lady, when we heard about this woman's case, we went into the market, we picked up this product randomly and took them to our laboratory to test for what she complained about. NAFDAC is yet to say anything. SON and other agencies that are relevant to this particular issue, nobody is saying anything. The only agency that has come out to say something is the FCCPC, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. This is bad. It is bad, it is scary. It is scary because in the corners of our home, we have come to realize that if you try to come up with your truth, be drowned for speaking your truth, whether you have the fact or not. We have to stop projecting Nigeria as a country where everyone is bad. If this thing is bad, keep quiet. If it is good, keep quiet. Say it. If it is bad, don't utter a word, or else you are in for it. It is not good enough.
Okay.
Nigeria is not a jungle. Nigeria is a country that operates on human rights. Everyone, whether you are rich or you are poor, you have a right. And when you are operating of your rights, there is every reason to call you to order.
All right, Ibinabo.
But there are ways to call people to order.
Okay.
This is. I'm waiting for what the court will say because one is getting so confused. Like, okay, so where has she gone wrong? I don't understand it. I'm confused. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibinabo, for your comment. Ireti, I'm coming back to you now. I saw that documentary and the body language of Eric. It was giving off some sort of, I am higher than the law. My word is final. what I say, what I want. There were some words that he used in that documentary that I don't want to go ahead and put out because it will be given relevance to something not worth it really. But let's talk about the body language and why the relevant agencies should actually step in. Because today it is Chioma, tomorrow it might be Esther, it might be anyone else tomorrow.
Absolutely, and that's why you've seen my video. You know, as a journalist, that's why I took this up. In fact, I've been on this for a little while now, but I wanted Adesua to finish her investigation. Because as journalists, we wait, we gather the facts, you know, before we then speak out publicly. Having gathered that information and Adesua's brilliant reportage, which I ask all of you to go and watch on Arise, even before you watch mine, because Adesua gives the context, the background, the history. I take it from there and bring it forward. And my show was aired yesterday, and of course, everything is now.
Hello.
You know, on
Okay.
Twitter,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
etc.
Okay.
Pardon?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Eric, what Eric did in that video, in that interview rather, when he was speaking to Adesua was, he had zero respect for Nigeria as an entity. And you're all probably wondering why I say that. Anybody that positions themselves above the laws of Nigeria has no respect for Nigeria as a sovereign nation, and by extension, has no respect for Nigerians. What I saw was a man who was used to weaponizing his contacts. And he made that very clear. He said, I petitioned everybody. He said to Adesua in the video, look, I have pictures. I know this one, that one. He then kept saying, I. He said, over my dead body or something to that effect, I paraphrase. But here's what he said that was really disturbing. He said, if you want to live, I will help you live. If you want to die, I will help you if you so wish. At that point, I had to ask, which is why you see in my video, in my monologue, I asked, who died and made you God? Because that is a God-like rhetoric. All we heard from Eric, at one point he even said about petitioning the president. Now, if you and I know the president, is that what we should be boasting about? Are you with me?
Yes.
This idea of, do you know who I am? Is the point we must get clear to the Eric Umeofias. Actually, we don't know who you are, and we don't care. We actually don't care. Because you are no more than a commoner. Number one, what we do care about is the product that you put out there for us to consume, which will go into our body, like Ibinabo rightly said. And so we are ingesting your product, and therefore it's your product that we should care about. We don't care who you know. We don't want to know who you know. We should know your product and trust your product, and therefore your product should speak for you. Okay. And so in the event that I bump into you, or Ibinabo bumped into you, or you bump, or anybody, he says, oh, I'm Eric Umeofia, I am the CEO or the chairman of Erisco Foods. And you're like, oh, I know your product, they're really nice. But in this case, we can't say that. We can't say that because even though he has, look, anybody can feel aggrieved.
Yeah.
But what you don't have a right to do is to harass, bully, assault, etc., and use all the instruments, the security instruments of Nigeria against this pregnant woman. Again, I must tell everybody, Chioma is pregnant. So they took her to court. I mean, they took her to, they arrested her while she was pregnant. They detained her while she was pregnant. They bundled her to Abuja while she was pregnant. And Eric is on record saying, are there no pregnant women in prison? I just want us to just take that in. This man has turned himself to God, which is why today and yesterday and every day, I am saying to Nigerians, I'm asking your listeners, stand with Chioma Okoli. That hashtag, I stand with Chioma Okoli, is critical. That hashtag is critical to each and every one of us. Like Ibn Abu said, the Chioma Okoli case is that case that must solidify and remind producers, manufacturers, retailers, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, NAFDAC, that Nigerian consumers matter. And we have a voice, and you had better begin to respect our money. You can see what's already begun to happen from yesterday. People have already started saying they're going to boycott.
Yes, I've seen a lot of that.
Yes, people have started saying they're going to boycott. He brought that on himself. Nobody asked for a boycott. People just took the decision to boycott his product. I have seen videos this morning of his products where people are complaining about the quality. Somebody took a video in a supermarket. So all sorts of things are beginning to come out. Eric Umeofia is single-handedly destroying his brand by himself. He on that interview with Adesua, he was literally self-destructing, syllable by syllable, sentence by sentence, breath by breath. He was self-destructing, and somehow, for somebody who positioned himself as a god, he clearly did not remember there is an adage in the Greek philosophy that says, he who the god wants to, oh gosh, it now flies out of my head. He who the god wants to, let's say, handle, they first make mad. What you heard there, the bile, the hate, the venom against Chioma, for what? Against this pregnant mother, wife, mother of three, an ordinary Nigeria who did not even know who he was. She didn't mention him by name. All she said is, I bought this product, I've never used it before, I tried it, it's sugary. What do you think?
Okay.
You know, it's tiring.
Let me pause your thoughts for a bit. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, can you hear me? Oh, do have to call us back on 07000 917 917. So, yes, Iriti, let's hear you as you wrap up your thoughts on that one.
Yes, so if I'm going to wrap up my thoughts, as you saw, my monologue was, I stand with Chioma Okoli. I invite every single one of us to stand with Chioma Okoli, because Eric Umeofia and the likes of Eric Umeofia could happen to any one of us. Any one of us. And here's the thing. There are people who are saying, oh, than they're only a tiny bit of people. Or, sometimes you spend years, 20, 30 years building a brand, and then suddenly somebody comes along and ruins it. That is not what Chioma did. Nothing in Chioma's Facebook was ruinous. Nothing she wrote there was ruinous. A smart, intelligent, educated man with comprehension, whose mind is beyond the vernicularized rhetoric of an Eric Umeofia, would have said, find me Chioma Okoli. I need her in my office. Oh yeah, you people, come. We need to sit with her because she's going to be our brand ambassador. Let's ask her what we need to do right. And then they fix whatever it is, and then they launch her as the brand ambassador. These things happen all over the world. Definitely. Again, I repeat, all over the world. Look, anybody could be saying right now, I don't like women radio because they're always talking about women. Does that mean that they are debasing and defaming your brand? Of course not. Mm-hmm. There's a million products out there. She doesn't like one. Okay, if you choose to ignore her, you ignore her. Had you even ignored her, I would never have heard of it.
Of course.
I'm not even on Facebook. You probably would not have heard of it. Mm-hmm. Ibinabu probably would not have heard of it. Nigerians would not have heard of it. Twitterati would not have heard of it. But alas, all she did was do a review, and Eric went on to actually crucify this young mother of three, pregnant mother of three, to crucify her for our opinion. So I'm going to end with this.
Okay.
Here's why you must stand with Chioma.
All right. Thank you very much.
In Nigeria, bear with me.
Okay.
Bear with me. In Nigeria, the worst crime you can commit is to be poor. The second crime you can commit is to be poor and have an opinion. The third crime you can commit is to be poor, female, opinionated, and voice it on social media. Now, so, look at that trajectory. Men and women are poor.
Yeah.
Men and women are poor and opinionated. But when it comes to, if we drill it down, when it comes to being poor, female, opinionated, and having the God-given right, exercising your God-given right to post it on social media, which is afforded to you by Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, then you are criminalized. And that is why every single one of you, every one of you, must not only stand with Chioma Okoli when we go out for a solidarity march, not a protest, a solidarity rally, to show Eric that each and every one of us is a Chioma. You must all join us. And there will be a solidarity rally called I Stand with Chioma Okoli. And I'll come back on the radio and tell you what date that is. And I hope you'll be able to put it out there for us.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Iriti. And really, I buy into what you have said. First, being poor as a Nigerian is one. Being poor and having an opinion is another one. Then being poor, a female, and having an opinion as well. Of course, you know what that is. Ibinabo, before we wrap up this conversation, I saw a particular tweet from somebody who said this words, and I'm paraphrasing because I cannot remember exactly how it was said. And the person was talking about how if this is what Eric Umeofia presents us to the public, let's talk about the welfare of the employees in that organization.
The person
I'm clapping
into my head.
Okay.
Because when I watched the video, there are some people when they are talking, they don't usually have this what they are saying written all over them. Umeofia was talking with every fiber of his being.
Yeah.
So everything is said shouldn't be taken with levity. That man had already condemned Chioma.
Yeah.
Because he believed that there should be a place for her in the correctional center. Because she's pregnant, so there's a piece of pregnant woman there. So such a man, I can't begin to imagine how he would treat the members of his staff. I do not think that for the kind of person that he is, anyone would have an opinion in that company. And it is very sad, because that's another problem that should be looked into after Chioma's case.
Okay.
Because that man is so soaked in the water of bitterness. I'm telling you, there is no iota of compassion in him. And I'm worried if that kind of man is producing what we are going to swallow. That to me is worrisome. He couldn't even pretend. What is the point? That really shocked me, that this man couldn't even pretend to take it easy, to be calm. He was all over the place. His anger was so palpable, you would just grab it in the air the way he was talking. I hope that this will be properly and appropriately handled within the ambit of the law, and the necessary things will be put in place, because his staff forget. They don't get mouth. You don't see the way the man is talking.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ibn Abo and Iriti. Really, I mean, this conversation is one that we need to revisit, and I'm glad that Iriti will be glad to come back and tell us when the solidarity rally would be taking place, because Chioma needs all of the support that she can get at this time. And also, I see that a lot of women groups are also standing with Chioma in this regard, because it is Chioma today, it could be you tomorrow. I mean, just the other day, network on the phones were down and people took to social media pages writing all sorts of stuff. Somebody even went as far as naming a particular telco company and asking them to go and start selling biscuits in cartons and leave this telco business. Tell me what else will reel you up as a business owner than something like that. But we didn't see any of that. We've seen cases where people are invited, oh, come and tell us what to do better. Come visit our factory. See that we make our product under the best environment. And you would go back as a consumer to tell more people to say they fixed it and it's better now. But, I mean, of course, something is lacking in that organization, and we can see it maybe from the skill set or the people or people management, just so we know. Thank you so much, Iriti and Ibn Abo, for being on the program this morning.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you. Do have a wonderful day. There we have it on Panorama today. Do well to join us again tomorrow, 9:05 as we discuss topical issues. My name is Esther Alaribi. Coming up next is Radio Doctor with Rose Yusuf Kaisar. Good morning.
WFM 91.7.